أشهد
أشهد
أن لا إله
أن لا إله
إلا الله
إلا الله
وحده
وحده
لا شريك له
لا شريك له
وأشهد
وأشهد
أن محمدا
أن محمدا
عبده
عبده
ورسوله.
ورسوله.
The second condition of Bai'at was one that I felt very familiar with when I first read it, and I think because it reminded me very much of the 10 Commandments in Christianity. Essentially, the second condition instructs us to avoid things such as adultery, fornication, falsehood, and dishonesty. Coming from a background of being brought up in Western society, that I could relate so strongly to this condition. I wasn't brought up in a religious household, but my parents brought me up with a very, very high moral code. And in all honesty, when I was growing up, I found it very difficult to reconcile what my parents were teaching me with the way in which society was expecting me to behave. And so when I did Bai'at, and especially when I read the second condition, I really felt that it was giving me permission to be the person that I actually was comfortable being. I do believe strongly that societies in general would benefit greatly from this sort of instruction. And if you think back, probably 50 years ago, 60 years ago, British society adhered very much to these kind of principles. So it's not that foreign to us as a Western society, it's just that times have changed very much. But I believe that as a society, as we are now, a very permissive, liberal society, people are actually unhappier than they were in times when boundaries were very rigid and set for them. And I think, as with children, as adults, we actually benefit greatly from having boundaries set for us. So although, as a newcomer, these kind of instructions may seem very restrictive and quite authoritarian, I think actually every individual benefits greatly from it. We don't have too many choices, and so our choices are made for us, and they're choices that are inherently very good for us. And so as a community and as a religion, we're very blessed to have this sort of moral instruction. And I strongly believe that as a society, we would benefit greatly from instructions such as those in the conditions of Bai'at.